Have you ever wondered what World War III might look like? Forget what you've seen in the movies, with tanks rolling across borders and missiles flying between superpowers. There's a growing idea that the next global conflict won't be countries fighting countries, it'll be governments fighting their own people. Now, that sounds intense, so let's break down why some people are seriously considering this. First, let's talk about trust, or rather, the lack of it. In many nations around the world, there's a massive and growing distrust in the institutions that are supposed to serve us. People are losing faith in political leaders. They don't believe what they see in the mainstream media, and they feel crushed by economic inequality and corruption. When a large chunk of the population feels like the system is rigged and no longer works for them, that's a recipe for serious tension. It's like a pressure cooker with the lid rattling. Second, information has been completely decentralized. In the old days, governments and major news networks controlled the story. They decided what you knew and when you knew it. But now, the game has totally changed. Social media can coordinate millions of people in an instant. Whistleblowers can leak classified documents that expose secrets to the entire world in seconds. A narrative that once took decades to build can now be dismantled in a matter of hours. This shift has fundamentally altered the balance of power between the rulers and the ruled. Third, and this is a big one, is economic pressure. History is filled with examples of how internal conflicts explode when life gets too expensive. When the cost of food, housing, and fuel skyrockets while wages stay flat, people get desperate. And when they see a tiny fraction of the population getting richer and richer while they struggle to survive, that desperation turns to anger. Revolutions don't always start with grand ideals. They often start in an empty wallet. Fourth, technology has made traditional warfare almost obsolete for a rebellion. Citizens don't need tanks and fighter jets to challenge a powerful state anymore. A revolution can start from a laptop. A small skilled group can launch cyber attacks that shut down critical systems. They can organize to disrupt supply chains, crippling the economy. They can use digital evidence to expose corruption and turn public opinion against those in power. Encrypted networks allow millions to coordinate their actions secretly and safely. The battlefield has gone digital. And if you think this is all just science fiction, think again. We've already seen previews of this kind of conflict. Look at the Arab Spring, which was largely organized on social media. Remember the Hong Kong protests, where digital tools were essential for outmaneuvering authorities? Or the Yellow Vest movement in France, the trucker protests in Canada, and the waves of social movements across the Americas and Europe. None of these were full-scale civil wars, but they are all powerful examples of how quickly internal conflict can ignite and spread in our modern, connected world. Now, before we get carried away, let's look at the other side of the coin. It's not as simple as the people just rising up. Governments still hold some very powerful cards. They control the military, the police, and all the physical infrastructure. They hold the legal authority to declare martial law and suspend rights. They have access to incredibly advanced surveillance technology that can monitor communications and track individuals. And if things get really hairy, they have the ability to just shut down the internet and other communication networks, plunging everyone into the dark. This means a conflict between a government and its citizens wouldn't be a clean fight. It would be messy, fragmented, and likely drag on for a very long time. It wouldn't be one unified movement. Internal conflicts almost always splinter into multiple factions with different goals. It's rarely a simple citizens versus the state scenario. So where does that leave us? Is this idea of an internal World War III plausible? Yes, it absolutely is. But it probably wouldn't look like a single, unified global revolution happening all at once. What's more likely is what you might call a networked revolution era. Imagine a series of internal conflicts erupting in different countries, each one influencing and inspiring the next through technology and global communication. It's a new kind of global struggle, fought not on traditional battlefields, but in the streets, on our screens, and in our minds. What do you think? Is this the future of conflict, or is the old model of country versus country here to stay? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you found this interesting, consider subscribing for more deep dives into the world we live in.